Have you ever found yourself in a moment of pure desperation? A time when a complete stranger's help felt like nothing short of a miracle? Well, today we're diving into Vaikom Mohammed Basheer's incredible story, Oru Manushyan, which literally means a man. It's this raw, personal account of what it feels like to be vulnerable, to be humiliated, and then to be rescued in a way that just raises a million more questions. It's a story that really makes you think about how complicated people can be. So let's get into it.
The story kicks off with this pretty grim thought. You can tell right away this isn't just a simple tale. It's a deep reflection on what it means to be human, and it's clearly born from a really painful experience. This one sentence, it sets the stage for everything our narrator believes about the world he's trapped in, a world that feels, to him, like it's out to get him.
Now, to really get what happens next, you have to understand the setting. The narrator paints a picture of a world that feels like it's designed to just break you, a place where his life is constantly hanging by a thread. He was completely adrift. 1,500 miles from anyone or anything familiar. He didn't know the language, he was flat broke, and he had zero connections. Every single face was a stranger. He was totally and completely alone.
And this place, the terror was just baked into the atmosphere. The people there were famous for their cruelty. Getting robbed wasn't just a possibility, it was practically a daily event. These guys were traditionally soldiers, but now they were mostly watchmen or loan sharks. For them, money was everything. It was their god, and they'd do anything, literally anything, to get their hands on it.
So, in the middle of all this chaos, our narrator is just trying to survive. He's holed up in this tiny, grimy room on a street that's just as dirty. His job? He teaches English to migrant workers late at night, basically teaching them how to write an address. And believe it or not, in that city, that was considered a top-notch education. Think about this. He was so broke that his main survival tactic was sleeping. He literally planned his entire day around avoiding spending money, sleeping right through the day just so he wouldn't have to buy breakfast or lunch. Every single coin was precious. And you know how it goes. It's always something small, something normal that ends up triggering a total disaster. For him, it was a simple meal, a rare moment of comfort that turned into an absolute nightmare. So he goes into this crowded restaurant, and just for a minute, he gets to feel like a normal person. He orders a proper meal, chapatis, meat curry, and even some tea. It was this little luxury in a life that had none. For a moment, he felt full. Now, in his pocket, he had a wallet. And inside that wallet was every single thing he owned in the entire world, 14 rupees. That was it. His entire life savings, the sum of all his struggles. The bill comes, 11 annas. Not a huge amount. He casually reaches into his coat pocket to pay. And his hand finds nothing. Just empty space. A cold wave of dread just washes over him. He starts pouring sweat. That nice meal he just ate feels like a rock in his stomach. His wallet was gone. You can just imagine him, his voice probably trembling, trying to explain the simple, awful truth to the restaurant owner. But like we said, in a city with no mercy, telling the truth can be the worst thing you can do. What happened next wasn't about the 11 annas. Not at all. It was about publicly and systematically destroying a man's dignity. The owner's reaction? He just laughs. A loud, nasty laugh. He grabs our narrator by the coat and screams this at him. Gouge your eyes out. And in this city, that wasn't just talk. Our guy knew. He absolutely meant it. He's frantically looking around the restaurant, searching the crowd, just begging for one person, anyone, to show a little bit of sympathy. And he finds nothing. Just cold, predatory stares. He said they looked like a pack of hungry wolves, just waiting for the show to begin. He was terrifyingly alone. And then the humiliation becomes this ritual. It's systematic. The owner makes him take his clothes off piece by piece in front of everyone. First, the coat, then the shirt, then his shoes. With every item of clothing, another layer of his dignity is just peeled away. And the final order was to take off his trousers. And in that moment, his absolute worst fear just flashes in his mind. This is what he sees. A man, totally naked, standing in a crowd, his eyes gouged out. It wasn't just about being embarrassed. This was the vision of his complete and utter ruin, the exact thing the owner had promised him. His hands were frozen. He couldn't do it. It felt like this was it, like everything was over. And right at that moment, just as he starts to unbutton his trousers, a voice cuts through all the noise. Just one sentence, and everything stops. The whole restaurant turns to look. Hope, which had been completely gone just a second before, suddenly comes rushing back. And the man who spoke, wow, he was something else. Tall and fair-skinned, wearing a striking red turban, white trousers, a big mustache, and he had blue eyes. He just commanded the room without even trying. He calmly steps forward.
He doesn't make a big scene. He just asks the owner how much, pays the 11 annas, and then turns to our narrator. And with these simple words, "Put on your clothes," he starts to give him back the dignity that was so cruelly ripped away. Our narrator couldn't even find the words to thank him.
So, he follows this man out of the restaurant, just overwhelmed with gratitude. But the story, it is not over, not by a long shot, because out on a deserted bridge, the final, unbelievable twist is about to be revealed.
The stranger stops on the bridge, looks around to make sure they're alone, and then he starts pulling wallets out of his pockets. Not one, not two, but 5 of them. And there, right there in that pile, is our narrator's wallet. Just let that sink in for a second. The man who saved him from that terrifying humiliation was the exact same man who robbed him and caused it in the first place. The cause of the problem and its only solution were the same person. I mean, how do you even begin to understand someone like that? He lets him take his wallet, the 14 rupees still inside, and sends him off with a blessing. May God help you. And what else can our narrator say? He just repeats it right back to him. Because in that moment, looking at this impossible paradox of a man, a thief with a conscience, a criminal who shows mercy, he realizes that maybe, just maybe, the stranger needed that blessing even more than he did. He was, after all, just a man. And that is the central mystery that makes the story so unforgettable.